This is Hannibal here from thehannibaltv.com, and this is the Inside SWE Fury podcast, also streaming on the SWE Fury YouTube channel as well as the Hannibal TV. And joining me, as always, is the co-host, SWE Fury matchmaker, legendary referee, and he's also a Cauliflower Alley Club Award winner, James Beard. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing great. It's great to be with you again. This is becoming a habit, huh?
It is, and we have a great guest tonight, none other
Yes.
than the Godfather himself, Teddy Long, who is the GM of SWE Fury, which I'm excited about. He'll be joining us in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, Teddy never lacks for something to say or how to say it. So I'm looking forward to having him on here. And you know, he's just while he's not here, I'll tell you he's been a real blessing to us here at SWE and to me personally, because such a great guy and such a great guy to work with and a great mind. I'm loving it. You know, you get into a lot of situations in the wrestling business sometimes where you have two or three people trying to do the same thing, and it turns into a real struggle. You know, it's kind of a rope match there, and not with Teddy and not with Kevin. They've been great, and it's just been a blessing for me.
And of course, one of the fans on here have already commented about the shirt giveaway. There is going to be an SWE Fury t-shirt giveaway later on in the podcast. It's going to go to the first person that answers a question about Teddy Long correctly. So you guys can look forward to that later on in this podcast. But it's a big weekend coming up for SWE Fury, the Sweethearts Brawl. I'm putting one of the posters up. You can see all the stars that are appearing on the event. James, is there anything you want to say as far as previewing this Sweethearts Brawl coming up in Irvine?
Well, yeah. I'm looking forward to this. It's a first time in the kind of the Metroplex area for SWE since we've started doing TV again, and I think it's kind of exciting to be at this place, and you know, I'm anxious to see. You know, I've been watching Charlie Haas and some of the things he's been doing. I'm kind of anxious to see what he's got up his sleeve. You know, we got the tag team thing coming up. We're going to begin the process to crown a tag team champion, and we'll end that in Carthage on the 27th. But it starts at Sweethearts Brawl, and I'm looking forward to that also. And the girls, we've got lots of ladies.
We definitely do, and this is one of the latest posters for the Sweethearts Brawl that has a lot of the stars on it. Sue Young, Alexandra the Lion, Evelyn Carter, one of the ladies, Christy Janes, Miranda Alizé, Selena De Laurenta, Renee Michelle, Amber Nova. So many ladies as well as so many other stars. Do you know any of the ladies' matches yet for the card? I think it's going to be Sue Young against Christy Janes for the title, from what I remember.
Yeah, originally we thought it was going to be Miranda Alizé. I think that's how you pronounce it. And Jazz felt like the better matchup was Sue Young with Christy, and I think they have some history also. So that's an exciting thing to see too. A lot of the girls I've never seen before, and I'm anxious to see them.
Now, you mentioned Charlie Haas has been sending some videos that have been posted on both the SWE Fury YouTube channel that I suggest people subscribe to, as well as this one at the Hannibal TV, showing him in the wrestling room, taking shots on one of the practice dummies, as well as in his basement home gym, and he wants a title shot. Maybe this is something we'll have to ask Teddy Long about, but what are the chances he's going to get a title shot on this February 6th event?
Well, I don't know about that right now, but I do know this. You know, SWE is about competition, and Charlie is as good a competitor as there is out there, and as intense as anybody I know. So, it's hard to imagine, with Brent McKenzie retiring, it's hard to imagine anyone else out there that would be any more worthy than Charlie Haas. So I think that's something that we might want to talk to Teddy about.
There's a fan asking about the female referee. He wants to know more about who this female referee is.
Yali Stewart. Some places she calls herself Yali Sapphire. Yali is actually a girl that I met in Missouri a couple of years ago, I guess. I went up there with Tim Storm to do a clinic, and she was there, and I met her, and I was very impressed with her. And since that time, when I've had the opportunity, I've brought her to Texas and used her down here. Yali is an exceptional referee. She's got the potential to be one of the best. Unfortunately, she won't be with us at Sweethearts Brawl because she was already booked with Mission Pro, who is our sister promotion down in South Texas, and she'll be down there with them. But she'll be back with us, and she's a very special. It's very special. I started to say project. She's not a project. She's really a gal that I just have a lot of faith in, and I believe she's going to become an excellent referee as she keeps on this path that she's on right now. I love Yali to death. She's a great gal.
And of course, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry is going to be on the card, who's also another Cauliflower Alley Club award winner. Al Hernandez is asking, is he going to have any role on the show itself, or is he just going to be there really meeting fans?
Well, I really don't know. Mark is free to participate if he feels like it. I don't have anything planned for Mark other than meeting fans and signing autographs and pictures and that sort of thing. But guys like Mark, who's another one of those guys who's a competitor, sometimes they get around competition and the bug hits them, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if that didn't happen with Mark at some point during this time.
So what are some of the matches that are already announced on the males side that fans can expect to see if they live in the Dallas area?
Well, I think one of the matches I'm looking forward to is our TV champion Rodney Bagnaud, the Red Dog, who is defending against Ali Farhat, who is he's new to us. He's been wrestling for I think around 8 or 10 years, and he's a good-looking guy, very very athletic, and he should provide Rodney some real competition for that TV title. I'm looking forward to that one for sure. And I've got a friend coming down from Iowa. I talked about him a little bit last week, James Jeffries. In fact, today is his birthday, and I'd like to give a shout out to James. This is a happy birthday to him. He's a guy that I met a few years ago at Cauliflower Alley, as a matter of fact. One of the most polite, dedicated guys I've ever been around, and he's incredibly talented. He's a guy that can do all kinds of things. He's not a big guy, but man, he can go in the ring, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he matches up with some of this talent from down here in Texas.
There's actually a match of his or two on this channel because I've gone down to Iowa to cover their Hall of Fame a few times, and they've allowed me to record the event that goes along with the Hall of Fame. And I believe there's a match of him and Brian Blair.
I refereed that match. Yes.
Right. Yeah. He is very talented for sure. So I'm glad to hear that you've recruited him for SWE. There's so many wrestlers on this card coming up February 6th. How many matches is there going to be for the fans that want to come down and see this live?
Ooh, there will be more than than you might think. I don't know exactly what the number is right now, but I guarantee you, folks, you're going to get your money's worth when you come. You're going to have plenty of action, plenty of matches, lots of stars. It's going to be a full night of matches. I think the whole thing actually starts around 4:00. I know we have a meet and greet type thing, and then the matches. We have some pre-matches, pre-show matches, and I think it's going to be a full night of wrestling. I can promise you that.
And one of your co-matchmakers just messaged me, who's watching this, and said, of course, there's going to be the Blood Hunter with Selena De La Renta against Just
Yes.
Incredible, as well as Max Castellanos against Moonshine Mantell. They've been feuding, and this was just on the television show this week. Could you tell us maybe a little bit about this feud?
Let me tell you. Just seeing what happens in that match may be worth the money for the whole night. They've been just absolutely tearing it up, and we haven't actually had a match with them so much. They've just been fighting everywhere, and I don't even think they've had any kind of results in the ring yet. They've torn up 2 buildings, and this started in several weeks ago when they were actually tagging as a team together. And something happened in that match, and Max turned on Moonshine, and ever since then it's been a war. And we intend to have them hopefully in the ring on Saturday night, and maybe we can get some results out of this thing. And but regardless what happens, I guarantee you it'll be an exciting event with those 2 guys. They're a couple of bulls, man. They just fight, and they represent Texas style wrestling about as well as anybody.
Of course. And I mean, the last event, they even brought in a TV into their match, and a TV was smashed. So that one hasn't aired yet, but it's coming in the future weeks. But I see the general manager himself, Teddy Long, WWE Hall of Famer, has joined us in his SWE Fury shirt. And we are giving away one of those in probably about 20 minutes or so. So stay tuned for that. But how are you doing tonight, Mr. Long?
I'm doing very good, man. Happy to be with you and the legendary James Beard, and a great friend of mine, man. And just so glad you guys give me the opportunity to come on here and talk a little bit about what's going on in SWE.
Well, Teddy, I tell you what, I appreciate you coming on with us, and I told the people what listening a little earlier, and I'll just say it to your face. It's been an absolute blessing having you as a partner, really, in this SWE effort, and it's been a joy working with you, and this is something that I look forward to every time we get together, and you know, I can't say enough about you talk about legendary. You're as legendary as anybody I know.
All right. Well, thank you very much, James. You know, I kind of feel the same way about you too, because, you know, me and you, we came up pretty much the same way. You know, we wore the stripes. You know, we got in there and we had to hustle and bustle in our days. So, you know, I know exactly, you know, what you went through, and we paid our dues. And I think what's happening to us now, we deserve every moment of it.
I appreciate those words, and you're right. We did start out doing the same job, and you know, a lot of people think if you do that job you can't do anything else, but we've proven that to be untrue, I tell you.
Exactly, because the whole world is talking about SWE right now.
Absolutely.
They are. And one thing I'll bring up quickly for both of you, you're both going to be at the meet and greet from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. It's only $10 admission, and tickets are available through the Southern Junction location. So great opportunity for fans to meet 2 legends like yourselves.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's always
and Mark Henry, yeah.
Right, and it's always a pleasure to get out there and meet the fans. You know, a lot of this for me, for the Texas area. You know, a lot of the fans there I'm meeting for the first time, because you know, I worked there a lot in a lot of different towns, but I never did have any time, you know, to spend there. So now I get a chance to spend a little time in Texas. So it's always great, you know, to meet, you know, brand new people, and you know, to make everybody happy.
Well, you had a pretty good taste of Texas, having to deal with John Layfield all those years, didn't you?
Well, John Bradshaw Layfield, I don't have to deal with him in Texas. I had to deal with him everywhere. I had to
everywhere, yes.
We rode together when they were APA, and I tell you what, that was the ride of my lifetime. But I enjoyed every moment of it, man. I learned a lot with those 2, and we had a great time. But, you know, I want to kind of move on a little bit here, James, and let's talk about what's going on Saturday night in Irving, Texas, there at the Junction. You know, SWE bringing a lot of big top name stars there. Rodney Mack will be in action. He'll be defending the SWE TV title. And James, you know, we also talked about Tim Storm. You know, for the past several weeks, you know, we've been promising the people a title match, and just I don't know what's been happening. A lot of his opponents have been having trouble with their travel, or they, you know, just some other things have been happening. So things ain't been happening. So what I wanted to let the people know that you and I talked about this, and we're guaranteeing you that this TV taping in Irving, Texas, we are going to have a title match, and Tim Storm will certainly be defending that title. And the first thing I'll have to do is before that is when I get there, you know, we'll have to set up a #1 contenders match. And once I do that, we will see who will be the one to face Tim Storm. So what do you think about that, James?
I'm anxious to see who you put in that match, and I'm anxious to see who comes out of it. And you know, Tim has been a great champion for us. He's held that belt for I guess a year and a half now, and held it admirably. You know, you're right. We need to have that thing defended, and I'm looking forward to see what we do with that.
Well, and my thing with Tim Storm, you know, what a great wrestler, you know, former NWA champion. And, you know, the reason why he's held it so long because he's been undefeated. There really ain't been anybody that could stand up, you know, next to him in the ring. But Tim is a tough competitor. So, you know, we just going to have to find somebody that maybe can, you know, take him down. We'll just have to wait and see because Tim Storm ain't no joke. And stepping in there with him, you better have you better be ready.
Strap those boots on.
Right. And let's talk about, you know, we got a lot of divas coming in. You know, Renee Michelle, she'll be definitely in the building. Miranda Blaze, Amber Nova, you know, a lot of these divas, you've seen them on NXT. You've seen a bunch of them at Ring of Honor. AEW, you know, they've been on, you know, with major companies, and so they're trying to find their way now to SWE. Everybody's talking about it, and all the divas and all the wrestlers want to come to SWE. So these pretty ladies that I just called their names, you know, Selena Del Ronte, she'll be in the house, and James, we got a lot of divas that are going to be coming to watch the show.
We do, and these girls are more than divas; they're wrestlers. They actually get after it in the ring, and that's something that we're excited about. Our other partner, Jazz, has been doing an incredible job bringing all these girls together. And I plead a little ignorance about some of the girls, but I know that Jazz has high standards, and I know she's going to bring in some of the best.
Well, yeah, I certainly agree with you there. Jazz is in charge of our women's division, and she makes sure that you ain't stepping into an SWE ring unless you're ready. And we're just proud to have Jazz in charge of that. You know, what a great competitor she was. And, well, you know, she's still active, too. So don't let me say she was. She still is, because she still gets out there whenever, you know, somebody calls her and wants her to step into the ring. She's always there. Let's talk about, Christy James. She'll be defending the SW women's title. And who will she be facing, James?
Jazz has said it's going to be Sue Young. And I've looked her up and checked her out on some things. And the girl has quite a reputation. And evidently she and Christy have some history. So I'm looking forward to that one. Christy has really stepped up for us. And I'm proud of her. But you know, when you're on top of the mountain, you gotta keep fighting those people from taking it over from you, and I'm sure she's ready to do that.
Right. Well, and you know, like I said, these superstars that we're talking about will be there live Saturday night, February the 6th, right there in Irving, Texas, at the Junction. And let's talk about another, you know, former WWE superstar, a man that certainly carries his own weight. I'm talking about Charlie Haas. What do you think about him, James?
Wow, we've talked about Charlie on here a couple of times. He is the most intense guy I have ever seen, I think. And you know, I've known Charlie a long time, and I've refereed a lot of matches with him. I've done clinics with him, and he's incredibly knowledgeable. He was a great amateur, and when he gets in the ring as a professional, man, I tell you what, you better be ready for a fight, because that guy's going to bring it. And he's right now. I think he's maybe in the best shape he's ever been in, and he's just so intense. It's almost scary.
Right. Well, you know, Charlie Haas is certainly a tough competitor. I'm kind of like you, James. I've known him for a long time too. So he's another guy that will eat your lunch if you're not ready.
You bet. You bet.
You know, the other thing that kind of bothers me too, you know, we have this guy that's been coming. He's been in SWE for a couple of times. He calls himself the Blood Hunter. You know, haven't been able to find out too much about him. You know, what he's really been up to and what his background is. I mean, James, have you heard anything about this Blood Hunter guy?
Well, I'm kind of like you. It's kind of a weird thing when you're you normally in a situation where you're doing TV tapings, you see guys backstage here or there, and you run into them, get to talk to them. This guy just shows up and he beats people up and he's gone. And man, I'm telling you, he's a beast out there. I'm interested to see what he's got in his mind for SWE.
Well, hopefully, you know, we can get Bob Mullen to kind of catch him, and maybe Bob can sit down and maybe have a sit down one-on-one with him and talk to this guy, and maybe he can kind of give us a little info about him.
I've never heard him say a word. That's crazy.
Right. Also, we're going to have another big superstar there, former ECW superstar, Justin Credible. He will definitely be in SWE this coming Saturday night in Irving, Texas. Another outstanding competitor, James. I know you're familiar with Justin.
I am. I've known Justin a long time, and my understanding is his coming to SWE may have something to do with that very guy we just talked about, Blood Hunter.
Right. Well, we'll just have to see what happens there, but that should be interesting. Justin Incredible, one-on-one with the Blood Hunter. That's a pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
With Selena De La Renta managing the Blood Hunter now, and she put out a video, Teddy, saying that she had a discussion with you. What was that discussion all about?
Well, I would rather not speak about that discussion. You know, she did talk to me, but you know, I tell you right now, what she talked to me about, it really didn't make a lot of sense. So what I told her, you know, we ain't going to talk about this on the phone. We're going to discuss this one-on-one in person. So I will see her. I'm certain that she will be there with the Blood Hunter. Then we can sit down and talk about this thing in person. And then that way I can kind of figure out, you know, what direction she's trying to go in.
Maybe that's why we haven't heard Blood Hunter say anything. Maybe she's going to be the one to talk for him. Who knows?
Well, you know, we'll just have to find out. But let's talk about these two right here, James, before we go here. Moonshine Mantell and Max Castanalo. I mean, these guys have had some knockdown dragouts. They've even had to go to the hospital after their last match. Both of them were, you know, slightly injured. But they're going to meet for the last time Saturday night in Irving, Texas. I mean, the way I look at it, they put their careers on the line. They're going to see, you know, who's going to walk out of that building the better man. So this one here is certainly going to be one to watch.
Well, I just hope we can find a way to keep them in the ring long enough. You know, they went to the hospital, and evidently they've healed enough to be back in the wrestling ring. But the buildings that they fought in, and that TV they broke, and all that other stuff that they've been tearing up, that's not going to recover from it. And you know, I'm anxious to see these two guys. They're a couple of couple of beasts.
Well, you know, from what I understand, you know, they were longtime friends, and so they kind of traveled together. They roommated together, so they kind of know each other too. So, I mean, it's just hard. One doesn't want to give in to the other. So this one here is going to be a knockdown drag out. I think we'll see a last man standing.
Well, you're going to find a way to keep them in the ring. That's what I want to know.
Well, I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. And I tell you what, once they get out of the ring, I don't want to be the guy to get out there trying to get them back in the ring.
No, I'll tell you that for a fact. Yes.
What's going on with what happened with Andrew Anderson breaking Action Jackson's arm on the last event? Is there going to be any type of punishment for that?
Well, I mean, there's really no punishment because, you know, Action Jackson should have informed us earlier that he had an injury, and he never told us anything about that. And I think he must have discussed that in the back in the locker room with some of the other wrestlers, and they must have told Andrew Anderson about it. And Andrew went out and took advantage of it. So the only thing I can do is, you know, just wait until we find out or hear from Action Jackson or talk to his doctors or somebody to see what's really going on. But right now, you know, as far as I know, Action Jackson is out of action.
He's been really quiet. I haven't heard anything from him. I don't know if he'll even be there or not, to be honest with you.
That's what I said. I don't know either. Like I said, once again, Action Jackson is out of action.
Yeah, that's play on words there, Teddy.
Right.
Now, as far as the Divas Is the Divas TV title tournament going to start in Dallas or Irving on February 6th, or will that start in Carthage on the 27th?
Well, hopefully, James can maybe answer that a little better than me. But I mean, we got so much going on there in Carthage on the 26th. There's a big wrestle fest. We got a lot of great talent coming to town, and a great big wrestling show. So it's going to be real busy in Carthage. But James, would you know whether we're going to start that or not?
My understanding from Jazz is that she wants to use what happens on the 6th this Saturday night and take a look at who actually performs the best, and that may have something to do with who ends up getting a shot at that TV title and maybe in Carthage.
Okay, and that's going to be for the women's TV title.
Women's TV, yes, that's correct.
Then we need to inform everybody else too that we're going to do something too that's never been done. For the first time ever in professional wrestling, there will be a women's TV champion, and it's going to happen right there in SWE.
Yes.
I've actually seen this belt that they've already started to make, and it's gorgeous. There must have been some serious money spent on it.
Well,
it is pretty.
It's like this, in order to make money, you got to spend money, So when, we want our superstars out there representing SWE, we want them looking good.
And Kevin Sullivan is now on commentary with SWE, so I guess he'll be at the event meeting fans as well. Who made the decision to make him a commentator?
Well, that decision came from higher up, but like I said, they did discuss that with me, and I also recommended that highly. Kevin Sullivan, I've known him for many, many years. In fact, I broke in the wrestling business under Kevin Sullivan. So I rode with him for many, many years. And so my suggestion to the SWE management that, let's get Kevin in here. He's a great guy for our TV, for his storylines. And like I tell people all the time, Kevin Sullivan was the one that created the NWO. So he still has a great mind, and he does real good on color commentary. Bob Mullen is so happy with him. He just said that was the greatest decision we could have ever made, is to have him sit beside Kevin Sullivan and have Kevin color commentate with him. So I think we made a good move there.
Yeah, absolutely. And the same with me. They came from higher above, but when I found out that Kevin was even interested in doing that, I was all for it. And he not like Teddy said, it doesn't hurt to have a lot of smart people around you. And Kevin is one of the smartest guys in the business and has been for many, many years. Like Teddy, I've known him a long time, and you don't get any better than that. So it's a team effort, but it's nice to have smart people around you like Teddy and Kevin.
Right. And the other thing too, let's mention too, we're talking about legends, we're also going to have the opportunity to meet WWE Hall of Fame and the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, will be there for a big meet and greet. And also he'll be a part of the wrestling camp. He'll be there talking to our students. And, we do a big camp there every morning before our shows. That camp starts around 10 o'clock in the morning. So if you want to sign up and become a professional wrestler in SWE, if you want to train, I think you're coming in the right place. So there'll be people right there to put you on the right road and tell you exactly what you need to do. So that's a big camp starting at 10 o'clock that morning at the arena from 10 till 2. So if you're interested, come out and give us a shout.
And I should say that on every camp we've had so far, at least one or two guys, sometimes maybe more than that, I don't remember now, have actually ended up being on TV. So, it's just a legit opportunity to get a career started right there too, if for the guys that are at that point. And,
right.
It doesn't matter whether you're a beginner or just starting or whether you've got some experience. This is a camp that can help you out. And guys like Mark and Teddy and Kevin and, Rodney and Jazz are great trainers. And then we have several other guys. Ryan Davidson is a head trainer for Booker T down there. He's usually with us. Tim Storm comes in and helps. Adam Asher, man, we got a bunch of people that can help you advance your career down there.
And the other thing too, if you want to get it right, if you want to learn it right and the way it's supposed to be, then you need to come holler at us, because we're gonna give it to you right, or we're not gonna give it to you at all.
Amen.
Now, Teddy, did you have anything to do with bringing Terry Funk on board as one of the matchmakers starting February 27th in Carthage?
Well, we've been talking to Terry Funk, and certainly we would love to have his input and to have him come in and certainly be a mentor to some of our young talent. We just haven't got the final decision from Terry yet, whether he's able to come in and do that. Terry's kind of a little bit under the weather too, so he can't travel, like he used to. So we're just trying to make it convenient for Terry. So whenever we do decide to have him come in, or whenever he gets, feel like he wants to come in, we want to be able to accommodate him and make sure that everything's going to be there for him.
I see. And I also understand Melina is going to be starting for SWE Fury soon. Will this just be appearances, or do you have any inside information if she's actually going to be doing anything on camera?
Well, I know this, that Melina will certainly be in Carthage for our big Wrestle Fest. She'll be there for a big meet and greet. Now, I don't know whether, she will be stepping into the ring with us or not. I mean, that decision is kind of left up to Mr. Beard there. She has to really kind of talk to him, and he has to make that decision. But the last time I talked with her, she said she maybe would be interested in wrestling, but right now she was had a hip surgery or something on her hip.
Right.
Kind of nursing that, so it certainly won't be anytime soon. But if she decides to step into the ring, I'm pretty sure that her and James can get something worked out.
Yeah, Melania has got some like Teddy said, she has some injury issues right now. If I think there were some rumors that she might have been signing back with WWE at some point, but that didn't happen. And if she gets well and she wants to compete, then the SWE door is open for her. I can guarantee you that.
Right.
And I also understand, as far as the app, the night before the big event this weekend, Teddy, I think you're going to be involved in this. You guys are recording some custom content for this new SWE Fury app that people can download right now on their phones.
Well, yeah, we're going to be doing that. I think Friday night. I believe James can give you a little bit more info about that. James.
Yeah, we're planning on Friday night. It'll be the first time we'll get a chance to actually sit down and do this. It's going to be at least the way I kind of envision it, and I'm sure that by the time we get through getting it all done, Teddy and Kevin and some others will probably have some other ideas and how we end up doing it. But my thinking is that we will just kind of sit around and talk about some different issues. Maybe some history, maybe talk about some things that's going on in SWE, but also things that we've been involved with in our careers and dealt with in our careers, and try to tie them into what we're doing with SWE. But it's going to be kind of an insider type thing. I mean, some things that people don't normally get to see.
And so we'll certainly be talking about some things that probably people have never heard us talk about, because I mean, in the wrestling business, you got a million stories, and I'm telling you, you can never tell them all. So
no,
I'm pretty sure that there's some stuff that I never even talked about that I probably wouldn't mind talking about now. And I'm pretty sure, James, you've been around, just like me. I know there's some stuff that you never shared, but you may share it now. So we want to give people the opportunity to kind of know what it was to be behind the scenes.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what we want to try to do. It's something that you don't normally get to see on a regular wrestling program. And I think it's exciting to be able to sit around and talk. I mean, probably, once we start talking, there's no telling what's liable to come out. We've had so many different experiences. Kevin came up as a wrestler and then got into the business or the creative side of it. And Teddy and I both started as referees. And let me tell you, when you do that, you see a lot of things that you're the fly on the wall, man. Let me tell you, Teddy can tell you that for a fact. There's a lot of things you see and know that probably haven't talked about, and who knows what's going to come out. It's just going to be kind of one of those things. And we will have some guests along the way too. Mark Henry may join us on this. Who knows?
And the other thing too, not so much as the old stories, but we're going to keep you up to date too. Be telling you what's really going on in SWE, and what's, there's some things that may happen in SWE behind the scenes that you didn't know about. We're going to be able to share that, so we'll be talking about that. And plus we'll be giving you other information, how you can go to the SWE app and, where you can, keep up to date. You won't be behind on nothing. You'll know what's going on everywhere.
One of the tag teams coming in for this tag team tournament is Jax Dane and Crimson. Jax Dane is also a former NWA world champion. Are you familiar with these guys, Teddy?
Yeah, I'm familiar with both of them. I'm a little bit more familiar with Jax Dane than I am his partner, but I've known Jax for a long time, and like you said, he's a former NWA champion. And I'm gonna tell you something else: Jax Dane ain't nothing to play with either. But when you step into that ring with him, you better be ready to go. So he has a partner with him now, and then James can tell you a little bit about him because he's familiar with him.
Yeah, Crimson is he's from lives in Tennessee, but he's a big guy. He's a guy that Animal and along with Jax, he kind of took under his wing and guided those guys for a while, and they've got a lot of those road warrior tendencies. I've worked with them a couple of times, and I know Jax very well. In fact, I refereed the match when he won the NWA championship.
Right.
So I've known him a long time, and I'm anxious to see these guys get in the ring and see what they can do. I know with Animal's influence, it's still with them, and who knows what kind of style you're liable to see from those two.
Well, you talking about Jax Dane and Crimson, man. You talking about two tough guys.
Yes, sir.
Another thing to bring up is this week, SWE is starting on 3 new TV stations, ABC in Tyler, Texas, as well as Lufkin, Texas, and CW12 in Bowling Green, Kentucky. The show also airs now on the SWE Fury YouTube channel and the Hannibal TV. What's your opinion on the growing networks that SWE is appearing on?
Well, my opinion on it is I'm just happy that all these TV stations are picking us up. And what that tells me and lets me know that what we're putting out there is what people want to see. Because if the TV station ain't going to pick you up if you ain't got nothing to offer, if you ain't bringing nothing to the table. So, I mean, I'm just letting you know, man, I'm just excited about it. And I know James is. In fact, I'm going to let James just talk about it himself, man. But this is real exciting news for these other TV channels to be picking us up.
Well, it is, and this is exactly like Teddy said. The thing that excites me is that we're getting so much notice out there now, and what I've noticed over the last few years when I was working with the NWA and working some independent things and that sort of thing, and doing this kind of style that we're doing right now, the hard hitting wrestling style of competition first. We keep hearing, that's the kind of wrestling we want to see. It's the kind of wrestling we miss. Fans keep saying that over and over and over again. Well, with SWE, you don't have to worry about missing it anymore. We got it, and I think that's why a lot of these stations are liking what they're seeing from us, and that's why fans are starting to like what they see from us. We're different. We're not the same old cookie cutter that you're seeing on some of these other stations.
Right. Well, and what we're producing is what brought us to the dance. Okay, we're not
absolutely.
You can't forget what brought you to the dance. You can always dress it up. You can add a little bit to dress it up, but you can't forget about it. And that's what we're doing. It's old school Texas style wrestling, and plus it's part of the modern day 20th century wrestling. So we got it all together, and we got exactly what you want in SWE. All you got to do is watch us.
Now we have to give away a T-shirt right now, and I'm going to let Teddy Long. Do you have a question for the fans? The first fan to answer a question right can get one of these lovely SWE Fury T-shirts, just like the one you're wearing. You could get white or black. Let me know.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll throw the question out there. Can the fan tell us who is the SWE Women's World Champion?
Oh, he's being nice with you fans out there. This is a real easy one. I'm sure we're going to get an answer soon. Speaking of the ladies division, though, one woman we haven't brought up today is Shaul Guerrero. I know you were very good friends with Eddie Guerrero, Teddy. Are you excited about his daughter coming on board?
Well, yeah, she's well, basically, she's just gonna be a part of our big meet and greet in Carthage on the 26th there. And like I said, she hasn't made any commitment to wrestle yet. As you all know, she was in NXT at one particular time, so she did. She's got a lot of experience in the ring. And I don't know, she stepped away, I think, after she got married, but she's willing to come in and be with us with the meet and greet, and then maybe James can. James is smooth, so maybe James can slide right up on there, and maybe he can convince her to get back in the ring with us.
Well, I'm excited that we've got all these second generation folks come in and show, and they're going to be with us on that 27th in Carthage. Miranda Gordy will be back with us, and I know she'll be competing. And Shaw, of course, will be there. Roddy Piper's daughter will be there. And we haven't even talked about it, but Davy Smith Jr. will be there. Harry Smith will be there, and he will be competing. So that's a lot of second generation folks showing up for us here, and all. I'm excited to see them all.
And let's not forget this, James. We're in the Texas area there, and brother, listen, this is really gonna set us off for Texas. We got Lacey Von Erich, the daughter.
Yes.
Yes. Von Erichs are internationally known all over the state of Texas, and brother, to have Lacey there, that's going to be a really big deal for us.
I'm going to really date myself here. I've known Lacey and her sister Holly since they were, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old or something like that. And Lacey was a lot smaller, but Holly would come to the sportatorium. She'd sit up in the stands, and sometimes I'd go up there and sit with her and talk to her. And she would tell me, she said, "Please don't let them hurt my daddy." but I've known those girls a long time, and it's exciting to see Lacey again.
Right. Well, me too, man. This will be the first time I've ever had the chance to meet her, but just to be in the ring with a Von Erich is the excitement for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matt R. said Christy Janes is the women's world champion. So congratulations. You won the SWE Fury t-shirt. We're giving them away every week on the Inside SWE Fury podcast. So you can email me, greatnorthwrestling@gmail.com with your address and size, and we'll get you one of those shirts. Teddy, I know you've started a podcast now. You were recording some stuff last time you were out for SWE. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this podcast that you've started?
Well, we're getting ready to launch it here in maybe the next couple of weeks. It's called Hold On a Minute Player, and I do it with my co-host, DJ Tony Snow. He's there with me. And the way this podcast got started, when I started coming to work there for SWE, I happened to meet the music guy there, DJ Tony Snow there, and Tony Snow knew the rapper Little Flip. And so Little Flip wanted to see me, and so end up, make a long story short, we got together, and Little Flip said, "Man, I think I'd like to start a podcast with you." So that's how the podcast got started. So we've had a chance. We're going to also get a chance this weekend to interview Mark Henry. We've had Rodney Mack and Jazz. They've been on the podcast. We've had a lot of superstars. Even had Little Flip himself on the podcast. So we're going to be interviewing a lot of people. And like I said, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to launch it, and we want everybody to watch it. But it's on Instagram too, man. It's Hold On a Minute Player.
That sounds like fun. And I think Little Flip is actually going to be at Irving, if I understand right. Is that correct?
Well, he's not going to be at this show. We're going to have Nate Daw there, the TikTok man.
Okay.
But Lil Flip, he's talking to me all the time, man. He's wanting to be a part of SWE. So I just want to wait and bring Lil Flip in at the right time. But
I got you. Okay.
He'll be there at February the 6th right there in Irving. He'll be there as one of our special guests.
Okay. Cool. Good.
Where was it that you were after the Greenville tapings, Teddy? It looked like you were being a player in Houston, Texas, I think, living it up, driving around in fancy cars, having some fun.
Well, it wasn't my car. I just had the opportunity to ride around, and they called this was the Rolls Royce Cullinan. And that thing was amazing. It was Little Flip's car, and he was just showing me how much he appreciated me being a part of, with him. And so he was chauffeuring me around. I was in the back seat of the car, so that was amazing for me. But that was a nice car. It's a Rolls Royce Cullinan, and in the roof it had like shooting stars and stuff. So when you're riding at night, you know, it's like you're outside. So that it was really amazing.
Teddy knows how to live the life, man.
Yeah, I was jealous of him seeing those pictures. I just got some news from someone inside SWE that the rumor is Molina might be actually managing in SWE Fury. So I guess time will only tell about that.
Well, you know, there's a lot of people you have to go through. You know, you just don't walk in SWE and just get hired like that. You know, there's several people, you know, you need to talk to. We're certainly running a business there. So maybe she's had a chance to talk to some of the higher ups and maybe they've made a decision. I don't know. But when we find out, better believe me, you will let our fans know. They'll be the first to know. But I certainly hope it does happen, man. If she come in and manage or whatever, I'd just like for her to be a part of SWE.
Whatever role she might have, or you know, if she's on SWE TV, she will definitely add to it. She's a sweet gal.
Yeah.
And the Boogeyman is also joining SWE for the show in Carthage, February 27th. Did you have anything to do with him coming in, Teddy? Because he was a big WWE star around the time you were there as well.
Well, you know, I didn't really, you know, have anything to do with it. You know, the Boogeyman and I are real good friends, you know, and I just, you know, anytime I ask him, you know, if he's available to come in, you know, he's always, you know, been there for me, you know. And like I said, Boogeyman adds to the card, too. He's a great attraction because there's a guy there that does some stuff there that a lot of people won't do. You know, I mean, I mean, for the price is right, I might eat some orange, but I'll tell you, it might go have to be a big price. But here's a guy right here that eats them, and and you don't even have to pay him. So I'm just saying, he's certainly an attraction to the arena. And I remember one night me and James was standing there, and that was the first time I think James had a chance to see him live. And James,
yeah,
what a character, you know.
yeah.
So Boogeyman,
Oh man, those worms, man.
Yeah. So he's going to be there in Carthage with us. He'll be there for the big meet and greet, and you never know. He may be putting some worms in somebody's mouth. You never know.
Well, Teddy, where can fans follow you if they want to look you up on social media?
Well, you can look me up on Teddy Player Long at Teddy Player Long. That's my Twitter, and Teddy Long Player. I think that's my Facebook. I don't know, but if you go to the Teddy Long Player, you can find me there, and I'm on Instagram too.
Very good. Be sure to follow him on there. And I've been told through someone inside SWE Fury that as far as the roundtables go, that you legends are going to be a part of, that are going to air on the app, fans will be able to submit questions through the app for that roundtable. So make sure you download that app.
Hey,
Hannibal.
Hey, Hannibal, let me interrupt you now. I went and got my social media information. My Twitter is at Teddy Player Long. My Facebook is teddylong.com. And Instagram is Teddy Player Long. There we go.
There you go. Excellent. Lots of ways to follow you.
Yeah, okay. You brought up that app. That's an exciting part about that app is that we'll be able to do some interactive things with fans, and yeah, we'll answer some questions. We're going to shy away from any of that. In fact, we welcome that.
Yeah, whatever we can. One thing we're going to do, we're going to tell you the truth.
Yep.
There's a few fans on here that have been wanting to know from Teddy, how was your experience on the Big Legends Raw the other week when you were back with WWE, one of your many appearances?
Oh, yeah. Well, I had a great time. You know, it's always great to go back to WWE. You know, I love, getting a chance to holler back at Vince. You know, I'm the only guy that can call him player and get away with it. So, I did, it's always great for me, to go back and do whatever they want me to do. So I had a great time there, man. Everybody was, was being a sweetheart.
Very good. Well, the big news today, and I'd be bad if I didn't ask this, and I won't grill you anything other than this, Teddy, but are you surprised that Lars Sullivan got released?
Well, you know what? I really didn't know a lot about him. I had a chance to meet him. I think not at this last Raw. I went to the SmackDown live deal and where I did the court thing with JBL. And I had a chance to see him there, and I talked with him for a little bit, and he seemed like a real nice guy. But that was basically the first time that I'd met him. But I remember telling him, you know, I said, man, you got a great look. I mean, this look you got is really good. I said, they'll probably do something with you, man, if you just, you know, you do the right thing. And I did tell him that, but I really didn't know him, but I did just hear all these rumors about him. So I don't know whether they're true or not, but I mean, if they are true, I mean, you can't have a guy around like that.
Yeah, very important for young wrestlers to try and keep their nose clean. I was just sent the graphic. It's called Word on the Street, SWE Fury with Teddy Long, James Beard, and Kevin Sullivan. That's going to be the official name and graphic of this app roundtable that you're going to be part of. That's going to be fan interactive.
Okay, yeah, and you know, hopefully we're going to get that started this weekend, and we're just inviting everybody to come on in and be a part of it, and you know, learn a little bit about SWE.
Yeah, my understanding is we may show a little tidbit of it on our TV, but to really get the whole thing, you'll have to go to the app and watch
it. Exactly. And then there may be some stuff that we do backstage, you know, that we wasn't able to get on TV. A lot of times things happen. Sure. And after TV goes off, and, you know, a lot of times people don't get a chance to see that. And so what we're going to do, we're going to make it possible for you to see something that you weren't able to see.
That happened on our last TV taping, as a matter of fact, and you were right there when it happened.
Yes, our last taping. We out of TV time, but everything continued. The match continued to go on, and so that's the stuff that we want to be able to give the fans, so they'll know exactly what went down.
Excellent. Well, I really appreciate you joining us today, Teddy. And tickets for this Friday night this Saturday night in Irving, Texas, which is in the Dallas area, are available through SWEfury.com, and more information is also available on there. Before you go, Mr. Long, is there anything you want to say about the big event coming up? It's going to be TV taping.
Well, I just want to remind everybody that this Saturday night in Irving, Texas, at the Junction, you know, SWE's bringing all the superstars: Rodney Mack, Tim Storm, Selena Del Laurente, Renee Michelle, Miranda Blaze, the Blood Hunter, Charlie Haas, Amber Nova, just incredible, Moontime Manchel, Matt Castellino, and Action Jackson, Andrew Anderson. We don't know what Action Jackson will be in action, but I don't think he will. But anyway, we'll have all the SWE superstars there in Irving, Texas for a big live TV taping, and I'm excited about it. And I know, James, you can't wait.
Oh man, I tell you, it's always exciting to get together and put these TVs together with Teddy and Kevin and all the gang that helps us. And it's a really a team effort, and we've got a really good team. I can tell you that right now. It's been enjoyable. And man, if you haven't been to an SWE event yet, this is going to be a good one to go to. It's going to be something else.
And Jane, remind them that this show right here takes us right on into Carthage for February 26th for the big Wrestle Fest. We've got a ton of superstars that are going to be there. This is going to be like our big WrestleMania, brother, right there in Carthage on the 26th of February.
Yeah, I'm really anxious for that one too. I mean, you take one step at a time, but it's hard not to look forward to that one because it's got so many people coming in that the fans are excited to see, and I'm excited to see some of them I haven't seen in a long time, and you know it's just going to be a great event. I tell you what, and we're already getting some incredible response for it. So if you want to see it, if you want to be there, then you might want to jump on there and get you some tickets here pretty quick.
And then, of course, you already
announced. James is right about that because I did get some information going fast, and we sold a ton of them. So you're right. If you want to get your tickets and get good seating and see a good show, then you better hurry up and get those tickets now. So WrestleFest, brother, it's definitely coming.
Don't get left out. Yeah.
I believe all the ringside tickets are already sold for Irving this weekend. So you don't want to wait till the last minute, particularly if you want ringside for shows like this big WrestleFest. And then I don't think tickets are on sale yet, but March 20th, there's going to be a taping in Canton, which was already brought up. So there's a lot coming up for SWE Fury. It's very exciting times. Where do you see SWE Fury going in the next couple of years, Mr. Long?
Well, I see us going straight to the top. We're already there. All we got to do is just put one foot up on the rock and we're touching it, brother, because SWE, we're in the right direction. We got a lot of great people that are working behind the scenes. We got a lot of great talent that are out there on our TV that's busting their butts each and every night. And we're just a good team. Our morale is great. Everybody's walking around with a smile on their face. Ain't nobody mad, you know what I mean? Everybody's treated equal and fair, and it's just a great environment, a great place to work at, man. I mean, I've never just really enjoyed myself so much as being a part of SWE. I love going to work. So that makes it better for me. When you love going to work, then that means you're going to do a good job. And that's what I try to do. I give them 100% because that I owe that to them for giving me the opportunity to be a part of them.
Absolutely, and I feel exactly the same way. It is a team effort. We all get together and you know, you don't see any conflict or any fussing and fighting. You see a lot of people working toward the same goal, and when you do that, and you got good people and you got good content and people who work hard behind the scenes, you're going to be successful, and SWE is going to do that.
Right. And we're going to show you, you know, we ain't just blowing smoke. We're going to show you. All you got to do is just tune in and watch us, and you're going to see what's happening.
Excellent. Well, that's really great to look forward to. And I'll let you guys close this off with whatever you want to say at the end here. And I'm going to be there doing interviews this Saturday night in Irving, Texas, too. And those interviews are also going to go on the SWE Fury YouTube channel. You people should subscribe to that as well as this channel. So I'm excited about being there to witness the action. And I'm hoping secretly that Charlie Haas will get a title shot against Tim Storm. I hope I don't have to wait too long to see that.
Well, he may have to go through somebody.
Well, like I said, we just don't know. I know that I am going to have to make a #1 contenders match, so I don't know who that's going to be. But if it's Charlie Haas, then, you know, I certainly agree with you, too. He's certainly a tough guy. But also, I want to say this to you, Devin. I wanted to just take a moment to thank you, you know, for all the hard work that you do and for, you know, being a part of us and helping us out, you know, 100%. And I really appreciate it because you've done so much for SWE since you come on board and been a part. And I just want to take this time to thank you very much, man. And, you know, just keep on hanging in there with us, and we're going to make you proud.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be working with you guys.
Well, I have to echo what Teddy said. You know, it takes more sometimes from the outside, some people to draw in other people that may not be aware of you and that kind of thing. And you've been a tremendous help in doing that. And I appreciate that very much. I'm going to let Teddy take us out of here, but I just wanted to say again, you know, what a pleasure it is to work with somebody of the quality, not just the fact that he's got the skins on the wall and he's a Hall of Famer, but the fact that he's just a good person and the kind of people I like to be around. And I love working with Teddy Long, and I appreciate you so much, Teddy.
Hey, man, thank you so much, James. And the feeling is mutual, man. The same here. All right. I'm just going to say thank everybody for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you Saturday, February. Well, that's right, Saturday, February the 6th in Irving, Texas at the Junction. SWE bringing all the superstars. I will definitely be in the building. So players, holla, holla, holla.